Our first serious hustle. This will be my last Charlie story for a while, because I am starting to arrange what I already wrote into chronological order, flesh them out with more detail, and add episodes between the stories I already put down on electronic paper. I'm also taking his grandson to unclaimed freight auctions at the ports.
Ooh.
The love of hustling started with a family trip to Harness Memorial Park 2 Saturdays before Memorial Day. I was refusing to go because Charlie and I had plans. My mother started to go into full boss bitch mode, but my father shut her down before it went so far that he had to back her up. He knew I wouldn't let anyone have a good time if I was forced to go, so he asked Charlie if he wanted to go with us. My mother called Charlie's mother, and she couldn't pack his stuff fast enough. Sometimes a holiday break for a movie or just to sit and read without interruptions can be heaven. We made our break to run around and explore the more than 200 acres of gardens, vast lawns, and woods. One of our first discoveries was an abandoned dry well in a wooded grove. It was about 15 feet deep with the glint of coins visible at the bottom. While Charlie kept watch, I inched down by bracing my back against one cobbled side by pushing my feet against the opposite. After scooping up around $6 off the bottom, I had Charlie throw down something to dig with. He tossed me an empty soda can, the old kind, made of steel with solid lips on both ends. I gouged at the hard-packed dirt with the bottom of the can. We had to change places when I got tired and break to go eat and deposit pockets full of coins into Charlie's backpack in the car for later examination. After eating, we went back to our excavation with my father's tire iron. We dug up a foot of dirt when we hit the flagstone bottom. While we wondered what kind of well this was, we carefully sifted through our fingers to make sure we had every last coin. We found $36.74 in mostly buffalo nickels.
Ooh.
And Indian head pennies with some Mercury dimes and Liberty quarters.
Ooh, wow.
We also found some coins with exotic names and designs we didn't recognize, like piastres, drachmas, and cruceros. Now, what were two Nuevo-Reach 9-year-old tycoons to do with this windfall? Sell it at a coin shop and go into the fireworks business? What else?
Yeah.
When we got home, we took our loot out to the tent back along with my older brother's coin catalog to evaluate its worth. The book said around $850 for everything, except the silver coins and the foreign stuff. We kept those and took everything else to the only pawn shop/coins shop in town run by Mr. Goldschneider. He went through the pile we put on the counter with an expert eye and practiced hands, separated out 26 coins he was interested in, and swept the rest back into a small sack to hand back to us. Next, he pulled out a current edition of the coin book we had consulted and told us that the value of those few coins, and showed us that what we had brought had appreciated in value since the edition we had was printed. They were valued at $1,400.
Wow.
Which was more than we thought the entire find was worth. When we asked about the rest, he said they were still relatively common and that we should hold them and get a new coin catalog. He offered us $950 and explained that if he gave us the catalog price, he could not make a living. We understood and accepted that because he had a good reputation in town. Old man Denowitz was wholesaling fireworks and everyone knew it. He was also stupid enough to sell to children, and we knew that.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder where evil geniuses get their fireworks from. Old man Denowitz. There you go. We went to his house and bought $900 worth at wholesale prices. M80s, bricks and belts of salutes,
and
ladyfingers.
This is in the 1970s.
Yes.
Do you have any idea?
That's a lot of fucking
That is
fireworks.
an insane amount of fireworks.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Bottle rockets, Roman candles, jumping jacks, aerial bombs, volcanoes, and a few other things. It filled the bed of my brother's pickup and cost us the $50 to get him to haul it. We snuck it all into Charlie's basement where we hid it. By June 30th, we sold out for a bit more than twice our investment after bicycling our deliveries all over the place.
So they sold the fireworks.
Yes.
Awesome.
We still had our private stash of a 5 gross of bottle rockets, a gross of each cherry bombs and M80s, a few hundred packs of ladyfingers, and 5 dozen Roman candles. That was short-lived because just before July 4th, my father caught us in my room counting money and demanded to know where we got $1,900. Woo! For perspective,
okay.
The 1967 Chevelle he bought new for my mom had an MSRP of under $2,800.
Oh, wow.
We explained that we sold to various friends' parents for their holiday celebrations. We gave him a cover story about the excavation for a new Union Bank building on Campbell Avenue where we found a Liberty dime and attributed the entire trove to that one find. Connecticut was a finder's keeper's state, but if the find was on government property, the law of treasure trove applied. Although we did not know about that, we knew the rule of finders, keepers, losers, weepers.
That's right.
He did confiscate the money and made us a deal. He would not tell our mothers about our law breaking and would buy stocks for us. He bought $900 in GM stock for each of us. He let us split the amount over $1,800. I think he was proud of us, but couldn't say so. Letting us keep the cash as our reward was his way of telling us. He also confiscated our fireworks to let us light on the 3rd after dark under his supervision and told us not to let him catch us selling fireworks again. We agreed.
God, that's a killjoy.
I know, right? We held back the M80s, cherry bombs, and a couple belts of 300 ladyfingers and used some of the heavy stuff to blow circles on Benny's lawn. It grew back since the roots were undamaged. The second week of July, my father let us know that we could buy an available 50 customer paper route for $1 a customer, and we were in business. A few days after that, Charlie's mother caught him with that Playboy, and that Saturday, we began altar boy training. So now we know how you two got to be altar boys.
Nice.
Between the paper route and volunteering, voluntold, to be altar boys, my parents thought we'd settle down. We took advantage of their misapprehension and went underground. After knocking on doors along our route and beyond every week for 6 months, we had almost 100 customers. The following May, I told Charlie it was time to start selling fireworks again. He was against it at first because he did not want to break his word to my father. I told him that we agreed with my father that we wouldn't let him catch us, not that we wouldn't do it. This time, we wouldn't buy all at once. Instead, we would take pre-orders and deliver right away. Instead of selling to our friends' fathers, we would only sell to our paper route customers. Little by little, we bought $500 and parlayed that into a little over $1,500 by the middle of June.
Damn.
When Old Man Denowit's inventory ran out. We managed to deal in fireworks for one more year after that, and then, just after Charlie and I finished the 6th grade, Denowitz got caught with $50,000 worth in his basement. By this time, we had 300 customers, and we were splitting $300 a week and $1,500 in Christmas tips, so we didn't miss the bump from the fireworks. Wow. In 1974, Charlie and I visited Goldschneider's shop with more books and artwork to sell. He was advising us on what to put on the market and giving us more for items he took off our hands on consignment. He told us that he would soon have gold ingots to sell since Ford made it legal for Americans to buy, sell, and own gold. At $32 an ounce plus $3 for the seller, he recommended we buy as much as we could because it was going to go up in value rapidly. He knew he had cash to invest since he had sold a lot of stuff that we brought him from the dining club libraries along with art we found on the street that the Yale kids threw away. We took his advice and bought it in kilo, 500-gram, 200-gram ingots because the U.S. and Canada were not yet mining gold and it was illegal to import Krugerrands. We also took his advice just before we left for Hawaii in 1979. He said that we should bring our bullion in for him to sell immediately because the bubble was about to burst, so we should sell right away and buy it back after the price collapsed. He taught us about bubbles and currency and commodity manipulation and handled the transactions on the QT so we avoided capital gains. He never believed in paying a tax you could dodge. Smart man. We benefited from his tutelage over the decades since he died. Damn. These stories never get old, man.
Dude.
I love these stories.
Yeah. And
9-year-old kids.
yeah.
I don't know, like 50-year-old adults who are as good with money and hustling as these two kids.
Well, I bought M80 or M3000s at 8,
Well, there you go.
but I didn't sell them.
No wonder he watches the show. You're a man after his own heart.
I did garbage pick penthouses and Playboys and sold those at school. Got caught. Got yelled at. Told my mom. And she didn't really get that mad. They were driving home, and she's just like, I understand, boys will be boys. But could we refrain from selling porn at school, please?
Oh, come on, Mom. It's my Beaver Bucks fund.
Oh. What are you going to do, man?
Not a whole hell of a lot. Oh, that's hilarious.
I would have loved to have ran some scams like that, but
Oh, yeah.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.